feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. So we just finished off the red and the green cards for a Dominaria Remastered. You know, now we're going to move on to the multicolored cards with another powerful card in Absorb. 1 white and 2 blue for an instant that reads counter target spell, you gain 3 life. Hoo-ha! Counter spell, life gain, all pluses for me. Next up, we have another banger card. Hoo-ha! Welcome to the Elder Dragon Club of Arcady Sabath. 2 green, 2 white, 2 blue, and 2 colors for a 7/7 legendary Elder Dragon with flying. Beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Arcady Sabath. Lets you pay green, white, and blue. Each untapped creature you control gets +0/+2 as long as it's not attacking. Pay a single white mana. Arcady Sabath gets +0/+1 till end of turn. Hoo-ha. Next up, we have another very cool removal card in Decimate. 1 green, 1 red, 1 green, 2 colorless for a sorcery that reads for target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, and target land. Yeah, this color set's answer to Invoke Despair. What's this? Decimate. Next up, we have Mystic Enforcer. 1 green, 1 white, 2 colorless for a 3/3 human nomad mystic with protection from black. As long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, Mystic Enforcer gets +3/+3 and has flying. Oh, so yeah, that's a put cards in your graveyard for if you got threshold when this thing is able to attack, you got a 6/6 flying protection from black. That'll feel good in the morning. Next up, we have Phantom Nishoba for a beefy 1 green, 1 white, and 5 colorless. You got a cat beast, a 0/0 cat beast spirit with trample. Phantom Nishoba enters the battlefield with 7 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever it deals damage, you gain that much life. If damage would be dealt to Phantom Nishoba, prevent that damage. And remove a +1/+1 counter on Phantom Nishoba. So a +1/+1 counters matters card. So yeah, that works. Then you have Pyre Zombie, a black, a red, and a colorless for a 2/1 zombie. Beginning of your upkeep, if Pyre Zombie is in your graveyard, you may pay 2 black and 1. If you do, return Pyre Zombie to your hand. And pay 2 red and 1, sacrifice Pyre Zombie, and it deals 2 damage to any target. So a fun little card. Then you have Quicksilver Dagger. 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 for an enchantment or the reason enchanted creature has tap it. This creature deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker, and you draw a card. Then we have Rada Heir to Keld, a red and a green for a 2/2 legendary elf warrior. Whenever Rada Heir to Keld attacks, you add 2 red mana. Or you can tap it to add a green mana. Hoo-ha. Next up is a callback to the olden days in Solkanar the Swamp King. So Grixis, which is blue, black, red, and 2 for a 5/5 legendary demon with Swamp Walk. Whenever a player casts a black spell, you gain a life. Then we have Spinal Embrace. Here's a fun card. 2 blue, a black, and 3. Cast a spell only during combat. Untap target creature you don't control, gain control of it. It gains haste until end of turn. At the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice it. If you do, you gain life equal to its toughness. So we have Zera Arian for Jund, which is black, red, green, for 1/2 legendary insect wizard with flying. And you pay the Jund for black, red, green, tap it, target player draws a card. Then we have Zur the Enchanter. So white, blue, black, and 1 for a 1/4 legendary human wizard with flying. When Zur the Enchanter attacks you, search your library for an enchantment card with mana value 3 or less. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Then we have some double-faced cards. Not double-sided cards, double-faced cards. Stand and Deliver. So a white mana for an instant that reads prevent the next 2 damage that will be dealt to target creature this turn. Deliver is a blue and 2 for an instant that reads return target permanent to its owner's hand. Spite and Malice, 1 red and 1 blue and 3 counter target non-creature spell, or Malice is 1 black and 3 destroy target non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. Then we have Pain and Suffering. For Pain is a sorcery for 1 black mana. Target player discards a card. Suffering is 1 red and 3 destroy target land. Then we have Assault and Battery. Assault is 1 red mana. If the assault for a sorcerer reads, Assault deals 2 damage to any target. Battery is 1 green and 3 for a sorcerer that reads, create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. Because more elephants. Then we have Wax and Wane. Wax is a 1 green. For an instant that reads, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And Wane is 1 white to destroy target enchantment. Then we have Order and Chaos. Order is 1 white and 3 for an instant that reads, exile target attacking creature. Chaos is 1 red and 2. Instant that reads, creatures can't block this turn. Then we have Illusion and Reality. Illusion is 1 blue mana. Target spell or permanent becomes the color of your choice till end of turn. Reality is 1 green and 2. For an instant reads, destroy target artifact. Then we have Night and Day, which is Night's a black mana. For an instant reads, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Day is 1 red and 1 white and 2. Creatures you target player controls get +1/+1 until end of turn. Then we have Fire and Ice, back at uncommon where it belongs. Fire's 1 red and 1. Fire deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Ice is 1 blue and 1. Tap target permanent, draw a card. Then we have Life and Death. Life is 1 green mana. For sorcerer reads, all lands you control will become 1/1 creatures until end of turn. They're still lands. And Death is 1 black and 1. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. You lose life equal to its mana value. So, lands matter and graveyards matter. Ooh-ha! Okay, that's all of the double-faced cards. We're gonna move on and hopefully get through all of the artifacts and stuff. We have Crawl Space, which is 3 colorless for an artifact that reads, no more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. Then we have Cryptic Gateway for 5 colorless. Artifact that reads, tap 2 untapped creatures you control. You may put a creature card from your hand. Shares a creature type with each creature tapped this way onto the battlefield. Then we have Damping Sphere for 2 colorless. Artifact, the land is tapped for 2 or more mana. It produces a colorless mana instead of any other type and amount. Each spell a player casts costs 1 colorless more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. That's ugly. Next up is Dodecapod. 4 mana for a 3/3 artifact creature golem. If a spell or ability opponent control causes you to discard a Dodecapod, put it onto the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it instead of putting it into your graveyard. Next up we have Dragon Blood. There's 3 colorless mana for an artifact. Pay 3, tap it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Then we have Dragon Engine. 3 colorless for a 1/3 artifact creature construct. Pay 2 colorless. Dragon Engine gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Then we have Helm of Awakening. So, two colorless mana for an artifact that reads spells cost 1 colorless left to cast. Hoo-ha, but that's everyone. Then we have another good reprint with a different artwork in Icy Manipulator. Back in the Ice Age days when I was first starting to get into Magic, this was a dope ass card. 4 colorless mana for an artifact. Pay 1, tap it, tap target artifact, creature, or land. Yeah, lock something down for me, why don't you? Then we have Jalum Tome, a card we've seen recently in the Brothers War. For 3 colorless, we have an artifact that reads, pay 2 colorless, tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. And next up, another card from the Ice Age in Jester's Cap. Back in that day, this was the card everybody wanted. We got a new artwork for it here. So it's 4 colorless mana for an artifact that reads, pay 2 colorless, tap it, sacrifice Jester's Cap, search your target player's library for 3 cards, and exile them. Then that player shuffles. Then we have Juggernaut, another card we've seen recently, but again, this is callback to lots of stuff from Dominaria. So, yeah, cool callback in Juggernaut for 4 mana, 4 colorless mana. You get a 5/3 artifact creature Juggernaut. It attacks each combat of Fable, and it can't be blocked by walls. So then we have Milliken, because Mill is now a thing again. 2 colorless mana for a 0/1 artifact creature construct. Tap it, mill a card, add a colorless mana. We have Mind Stone for 2 colorless artifact. Tap it to add a colorless mana. Or pay 1, tap it, sacrifice Mind Stone, and draw a card. Next up, another card lots of people like to play with in Tormod's Crypt. 0 colorless for an artifact that has tap it, sacrifice Tormod's Crypt, exile target player's graveyard. Then we have Umbilicus. 4 colorless for an artifact that reads, "At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player may pay 2 life. If they don't, they return a permanent they control to its owner's hand." That can get out of hand. Then we have Urza's Blueprints. 6 colorless with an artifact with echo cost of 6. So you gotta pay the casting cost the next turn too. Tap it to draw a card. Then we have Urza's Incubator, which is 3 colorless mana. An artifact that reads Urza's Incubator. As Urza's Incubator enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 colorless less to cast. Hoo-ha! Wall of Junk. 2 colorless for a 0/7 artifact creature wall with Defender. When Wall of Junk blocks, return to its owner's hand at the end of combat. So, also in the land slots, I'm checking my time, we have a common land cycle with the with what's called the cycle lands. Starting off with Drifting Meadow, they enter the battlefield tapped. You can tap this one to add a white mana, and you cycle it for 2 colorless. We have Mishra's Factory. Tap it to add a colorless, or pay 1. Mishra's Factory becomes a 2/2 assembly worker artifact creature until end of turn. It's still a land. Tap it. Target assembly worker creature gets +1 +1 until end of turn. So hoo-ha! There's a fun reprint we saw recently in the Brothers' War. Excuse the yawning. We have Nantuku Monastery. A land, and you tap it to add a colorless, or if you got the threshold, pay a green and white. Nantuku Monastery becomes a 4/4 green and white insect monk creature. First strike until end of turn. Still a land, activate only if you got 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Then you have another one of the cycle lands in Polluted Mire. Comes into tap. Tap it to add a black, or cycle it for 2. You have Remote Isle. Comes in tap it to add a blue, or cycle it for 2. Then we have Slippery Karst. Comes in tap it to add a green, or cycle it for 2. And then we have Smoldering Crater, which is, it comes in tap it to add a red, or cycle it for 2. Then we have Terminal Moraine, which is a land. You tap it to add a colorless, or pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put that card into the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. So hoo-ha. And the rest of it, the basic lands that they're revealing now, they're all old bordered, and they harken back to a lot of the classic cards we see in the Dominaria set. You know, any of the Dominaria sets. So that is it for the cards. I'm saying hoo-ha. It's a great set. Sorry, my cord was caught. I highly suggest, either investing in this, because the super banger cards are all going to go up eventually. The set is good to draft. It has good archetypes. I'm not unhappy with any of the cards really in the set. Some of them are kind of kooky and crazy, but it's a lot of it's just a callbacks to these weird cards you get in Dominaria. So you expect some crazy things and some fun things and some just off the wall things. But as a whole, this is a good set. Now, the collector booster, just to say what comes in with these, we'll start off with the draft booster. It has one rare or mythic in either regular, retro, or borderless treatment, a traditional foil of any rarity or retro, common or uncommon, 3 commons, 9 commons, and a non-foil retro basic land. That comes in the draft pack. They only come in draft and collectors. Now the collectors get one foil, retro, or borderless rare or mythic. One borderless rare or mythic, one retro rare or mythic, one foil, retro, or borderless common or uncommon, 2 retro borderless commons or uncommons, a foil rare mythic, 2 foil uncommons, 5 foil commons, a foil retro basic land, and a foil token double-sided. So that's how this thing plays out. So we are over 20 minutes. We're going to end it here. This is an awesome set. Save your money for this. I think it's going to be one of the banger sets of 2023. Hoo-ha!